Okay. Should I watch your stream or are you
Yeah,
gonna
I'm not gonna
be
be streaming here.
okay?
My computer, I don't know if my internet is gonna be able to handle that, so I'm not taking the risks. Anyways, hi people of Twitch, we are live. There's nobody in the Twitch.
Hello.
Let me mute my Twitch stream so you don't have echoes. And post this into
Oh yeah, it's so out of sync.
It's yeah, this is what people have to deal with on stream, on comms. I mean, I can try to stream.
Well now every word I say will be immortalized on the internet.
Event Roller says eyes emoji.
What do you mean?
He is looking.
This was a perfectly normal puzzle. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hopefully the stream I have in Discord works. By the way, if it's causing issues on streams, we'll turn it off. Put up your best smile, everyone. You're live on TV. And now CrazyBot is never gonna watch this VOD because it has his voice in it.
Yeah. Just create a program that automatically detects when my voice is present and mutes those parts of the pod.
Well, first of all, you're gonna have to like record enough of your voice to be for a program to be able.
Yeah,
to
I don't know if that's gonna.
Voice. Then you're gonna have to debug that program. Surprisingly easy to do given the Discord symbols on the top right. True. They're not always in order though. They're not always in the same
I mean, I guess I
spot.
could just mute myself now.
Oh, the stream's already live. Everything you say now is here forever. As it recall. Kaxian is here.
Hey.
Hi, Kaxian.
Hey. Good to be here.
We have 1 more minute until the deadline. Are there any last minute submissions? Three, 2, 1. Time is up. Anybody, any submissions coming in are not gonna be here. Not gonna be shown on stream. Probably. If you submit a showcase later, I'll probably put it in. Oh, wrong metric. We're not starting with that one. It's first alphabetically, so that's why I picked it. That's how my file is set up. Happy New Year! True. What a week. I hope you all enjoyed this week.
I had a lot of fun with this puzzle.
Yeah.
This was the first puzzle. It was also the first puzzle in this weeklies where I felt that, yeah, I did a good job on both metrics and can chill.
I'm glad to hear you had fun. Because some people in my DMs certainly decide.
Yeah. That being said, I said I probably did great, but you just know I'm gonna get like 14th place and 9th.
Yeah, but you know, this you have commentator luck. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
But alright, we should be ready to go. Alright, how many people do we have in chat? I can't tell from here.
Like
OBS says 17, that's good enough. Hello
18.
everyone, and so 18, wow, one more. Hello everyone, welcome to week 5 of the Opus Magnum Weeklies, and this week we have here Smog Neutralization, brought to you by our very own Crazy Bot, who is on stream right now to tell you
Hello.
about the puzzle. I told him to
Yeah,
prepare for
so
this. You better be ready.
I did not. So yeah, this puzzle started a few months ago with Flabdrill mentioned a puzzle where you have to convert cardinals into quint to fit them to disposal fast enough. And I thought that was a bit too hard, so I thought about other ways you could do that. And I realized if you have to compress quicksilver, you can only do that with a metal. So I can force you to use an input that's not even in the output, which I thought that was really funny. So that's how this puzzle came about.
The original puzzle
And
was,
yeah, this was originally just a rate area puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it went well.
Yeah, I would say it went well, but yeah, the original version that CrazyBot sent me was surrender flare shaped.
It was much worse. It was much worse.
I hope you all enjoyed my suggestion to change it in this shape and not have to do surrender flare.
Initially, you just had to make everything into gold, which was not fun.
Mm-hmm. Both the inputs and outputs were surrender flare shaped because, you know, that was forces, like, basically the projection glyphs to be your disposal.
Yeah.
But, you know, I
I
simplified
think
down
that
the
would have
idea
changed
to
for the better.
Yeah, I simplified it down to the minimum amount of quicksilver you need that forces disposal at min rate. It within finite area. Just so many restrictions to the puzzle to make it work, but it still works.
Yeah, it's a miracle this worked at all, honestly. It's like the math.
But yeah, and
so that's the first metric. And
yeah,
do you want to talk about anagrams or?
After that, we
we'll
started
get there when
talking
we get
about
there.
like, yeah. After that, we started talking about other metrics, and like there were many ideas being thrown out. I think TI was one of them. What else was there? You all know this better than I do.
There were a few weird metrics we went through, but eventually we settled on this one.
Yeah, like at first I told CrazyBot, "Hey, we could do area."
And I was like, "Why would we do that?"
And I don't think CrazyBot knew that. Well, I don't know if area would have worked, but I looked at this puzzle and thought, yes, waste. I bet you can do it. I bet you can do it with less than, yeah. So, no, we changed the arms.
We'll see. I don't know if we want to go into detail about that yet.
No, yeah, we did arms instead. You know, it's a bit easier. Alright. I think we should be ready to begin then. We're gonna be starting with rate. And let me find the first solution.
Weird question for the audience that I'm not sure. Can you tell the difference between my voice and CrazyBot's? Because CrazyBot sounds like how I sound in recordings, I think. And I can't tell because I'm not listening to myself being recorded.
The Twitch chat people also have the icons on the top right that they can refer to.
I should have gotten a voice changer or something.
Change it to super high pitched. Yeah, that people are saying they can tell the difference. Alright. But okay, we should be good to go then. We're gonna be starting in 23rd place at 126 rate. Yes, this is a rate solve. This is RA. It's by 4. 126 rate. Yes, this is RA. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Thank you. Thank you,
Delightful.
Albatross. So Albatross said in the Discord chat a bit ago, said like he cooked up. What did he say exactly? Let me go check. He said, "Okay, I dashed off a quick RA submission. RA takes way less time than AMARMS." Yeah, I could imagine.
Sure does.
Yeah. I mean, technically, RA has more restrictions. Like, any solve that solves the puzzle is valid for AMRs, but for rate, you have to have a finite rate and a finite area.
But yeah, the notes say...
Most metrics are okay if you're, like, normal about them.
The notes say, since my AMARM solve is a finite area, I thought I'd make a quick RA solve before the stream to make sure I get points for both categories. There are no points in the weeklies, but alright. I'd made sure to dispose of the excess lead. Yeah,
They don't even...
They're coming alright.
We'll give you your 0 points, don't worry.
They'll give you your epsilon points for participating in the Opus Magnum weeklies. And dispose! We got lead dispose! Woo!
We did it!
We did it! Thank you all for coming to the stream, everyone. Alright, next up we have... That's an AMARM solved. And in 21st place we have a 57 RA rate. We have 70 Storm. Just to be here.
That's a drop.
Yeah. I guess it helps when you don't have this is RA written in equilibrium glyphs at the top of the solution. Truly an important optimization.
The length of the Quicksilver chain doesn't actually affect the primary, so you can make it as long as you want.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's the thing about rate, you can have as much setup time as you want. Whoa, huge drop. Darkbrick says that they like how the top arm doesn't even care about when Quicksilver is moved, it just grabs it. It just grabs as fast as possible. Yeah. It's not even synced up. It's just...
As long as it works, I guess.
Best. Is it even grabbing as fast as it can? No, there's one period where it is. Or there's one instruction where it isn't.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's one
Just having it grab as fast as possible is good when you don't want to mess around with instructions and just repeat that. There were a lot of people in chat who are getting tired of messing around with instructions, so...
True. AMARMS does that to you.
Yeah.
I don't think we're there yet.
No, that's the other metric.
You can do sanity optimizations even in RA.
Alright, next up we have...
Sanity secondary.
That's an AMARM solve. That's an AMARM solve. This isn't an AMARM solve. Alright. We take another huge drop into 12th place. Not 12th place. 18th place at 12R. Which is, twice min. With this solution. By Andy Ventus.
Spoilers.
Sanity? What's that? Yeah, true. All of us Opus people are insane. So,
So it looks like we're doing pseudo period 4 here.
Yeah, a lot of It's waste stick, but it circles back around to get the disposal.
This just in, everyone. You can use waste sticks in finite area. Also, the solve has notes. It says, "This is a certified mess. Rate can probably be gotten down to 6 with maximum throughput, but I can't be asked to figure out how myself. This won't win, but at least I hope it will cause people to think. I know waste chains probably wasn't intended, but I make them work within a finite area restriction somehow." Oh, it's working.
Yeah, you have to route a bunch of different Quicksilvers, so you have to come up with some way to get them all to where they're going.
Yeah.
Into a projection glyph or directly into disposal, whatever. You just have to deal with all of them, and dealing with so many waste streams is not a trivial problem.
It is funny.
The product isn't the real product in this puzzle. The real product is the disposal glyph.
Yeah. It is funny to me to see all these not min rate solves that use lead, even though it's not necessary. Because if you're not at min rate, you can just stuff all the Quicksilver into disposal. It'll fit.
The puzzle provides you with the metals, so you will use the metals. It is mandatory.
So there are like significant advantages to not doing direct disposal, even if you can. The projection glyph is a lot smaller than disposal, so you can put stuff around it, and also you can move the metal to where you're going instead of having a fixed location where everything has to go.
Yeah,
see how many pistons are around that. Yeah, see how many pistons are around that glyph of disposal. Imagine trying to like put a bunch of Quicksilver through those instead of having them pool together into metal and then slowly moving metal into there when you have time.
I guess it's not necessary, but it does simplify the problem quite a bit.
Alright, we can move on though. In 17th place, we have 10.6 repeating rate. At 17th place, I think I already said that, Half Oring. Welcome to the Weeklies. I think this is Half Oring's first submission.
Ooh.
Another missile? Half a ring, you gotta stop doing that.
Wait, what was the first missile?
I don't know.
We don't know, but maybe they should have been making missiles.
So we're getting a pretty natural idea here. If you need to take stuff off at every 2 cycles, if you make a symmetrical layout, then each side only needs to remove stuff once every 4 cycles, and that has advantages in that you actually have time to do anything.
This is how fast is this? How fast are Arm 3 and 5 pulling the individual?
I don't know. I can't see the numbers.
There we go. Do Arm 4 and 6 do anything? Oh no! Oh yeah, they do.
So yes, they do.
Replenish Quicksilver every once in a while.
So that I think that's where the fractional rate comes.
Let's see. It's arms 3 and 5 are pulling every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cycles. So
it's interesting which metals are being disposed. It's like copper, then silver, then iron, another silver, iron. I think there was a tin in there at some point. Yeah, there's tin in there. Getting a rainbow of metals being disposed.
Yeah, I did mention
Doesn't really
it would be
matter how
interesting to
many
see.
how much you've got.
I did mention it would be interesting to see what gets disposed of in each solution, because there are a lot of options, right?
Yeah, the disposal doesn't discriminate, unlike outputs. You can dump anything you want in there. If you want to dump extra air in there, well, nobody's gonna complain.
We've seen every type of solid metal get disposed so far, except for gold.
Except for gold, true. We've seen 4 disposed lead. Thank you, 4.
Yeah.
Alright, we can move on then. Next solve, that's an Amarm solve. No, that's not. That's at 6 rate. Amarm solve at better than 10 rate, scary. Alright, at 6 rate in 16th place, we have Puku52. Welcome to Min, everyone. This is Min Ray.
Ooh.
Yay. Man.
Once again, Cuckoo52
Yeah.
is doing Cuckoo52 things.
This is some brick stuff to get all the air
Oh, wow.
into the right shape. And then some stuff on the right that reminds me a lot of how computation puzzles put like sticks and bricks together, but that's not it. So we are disposing of silver and a bunch of quicksilver. See, the quicksilver does not actually have to be in a metal. It just enough of it has to fit into a metal that you
just
I'm struggling on my words there, but you understand.
Yeah, you just have to
Yeah,
dispose enough of
there's-
the quicksilver. Dispose enough of the waste, and it sounds like the disposal isn't even at full capacity. It sounds like every 5, the capacity is 5/6.
Yeah, there's 1 cycle where silver is disposed, 4 cycles where quicksilver is disposed, and 1 that's vacant.
I love Cuckoo52's like utilization of brick solves so often, though. And this is certainly and track loops.
Really
this
cool
is
design.
certainly one of those solves.
Swag firearms off on the right too.
It just looks like magic to me, honestly. I don't understand how people do this.
They figure out a bonding debond field and fuck around and find out from there.
Yeah. You might not understand how Cuckoo52 works, but I can assure you the rest of us don't either. And we love Cuckoo52.
That's so true. We still haven't seen any disposal of gold yet, surprisingly. Maybe it's just not worth it.
This checks off disposal of quicksilver, though, so we are making progress.
Alright. No notes for this solve. Moving on, we have...
The real question is if Cuckoo52 understands this solve themselves.
Who knows? Alright, next up, in 15th place, we have at 277 area, Greenfield. We're seeing a lot of symmetric solves.
Yeah. Symmetry makes a lot of sense for this puzzle. You just have to put everything you need to use for both pipelines in the middle, which are input, the output, the lead, and the glyph disposal.
And no quicksilver is being disposed of here, it's all metals. Well, I mean, metals other than quicksilver.
Is quicksilver a metal?
Just silver.
Just silver, even. We remove the quick. We've taken the quick out of Quicksilver. It's just Silver now.
There was a
Check out
joke
the
I made in modding about a glyph of slowness.
Does it just turn Quicksilver into Silver?
Yeah, it just turns Quicksilver into silver.
That's essentially what you get when you project Silver into gold, anyways.
Check out the pivots near the output. Like, okay, so there's that one output arm that figures out both pipelines to make them converge, but also the arms that come right before them, and where the Quicksilvers that are just hanging off of the air just get flung off of them on that debonder. That's just a cool motion there.
Yeah, this
just
reminds
sticks
me of
Quicksilver.
This reminds me of that Opus on Ice mod. Imagine if we could just fling those Quicksilvers out into the abyss.
So, I think this fanning thing has an advantage in that you can always pass a reactive air towards that station instead of having to select between just an air and a reactive air, and that cuts down on arms, which matters a lot because this is period 4 and individual arms can't do all that much in period 4 because they have to do one thing and then race back to catch the next atom.
Unless you start using track loops.
Right.
Which they can do a slight bit more with track loops.
Slight bit.
A little bit more, as a treat. Alright. The notes say, snap the arms inside the mechanism. Now the white sweeps aren't as bad. Next up, we have in 14th place at 156 area, Foxy Haze. Rate this, version 4. We're sticking with the symmetrical theme still.
Yep. Oh, okay. Hex arm detected. My hex arm senses say that is a hex arm.
Hex arm beloved.
So.
Yeah.
So I think.
Oh, wrong button.
Yeah, I think we are getting both silver and a little bit of copper disposed. This appears to. Okay, so the cool thing that is happening here is that there is not a separate arm feeding a metal to each projection glyph. It is just the same arm doing it and then carrying it off to disposal. So this arm has to run quickly because each metal is spending time at both projector stations.
I think it's always silver.
I think I was wrong. This is just silver the entire time.
Yeah, it's just that sometimes the projection doesn't look like it fully finishes before it's disposed of. Straight into the bin while it's still hot. I slowed the solve down just to check that.
Sometimes the glyph of disposal gets mystery boxes.
Another interesting is how you're going to be merging the two pipelines because the output has 3 air. So, is the cadence swapped between?
Yeah, so when one of the... So you can see over at the right, sometimes a reactive air is pulled to the middle of that glyph of multi-bonding, but most of the time it's stuck on one of those debonders and then towards one of the prongs of the glyph of multi-bonding, and that Quicksilver that gets peeled off goes up towards the very top or the very bottom, depending on which pipeline. And notice that both Quicksilver waste streams on each side are very close to each other. They're parallel, and also you've got that cool piston on the very upper right that makes sure the waste streams are regulated. Yeah, they're regulated so that yeah,
This is an
this
interesting
this
thought.
solution is put a lot of thought into how to not make this sprawl when you have so many waste streams. I like it.
The notes say, an approachable puzzle, or so I thought. Rate seems good, but area's a bit big. Version 4, reduced area originally from 274, but more expensive. Now that's a big shave. Unfortunately, a big shave that didn't matter in placement, so that's a big shave and you should be proud of it. The previous one was 277.
I mean, it's still really smooth.
Yeah, it is. It's a great solve. Alright, moving on. We have in 13th place at one area better than this one. At 155, Mikulius.
Oh no!
Oh. Seriously though, good job, Mc.
All that optimization just to be one off. Oh no. This one has much shorter,
so the waste
Quicksilver
streams
pipelines.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the waste streams here are really compact. You can obviously see the track loops. Some Quicksilver is actually going all the way around the little arms that are otherwise feeding Quicksilver to projection. That's pretty cool. That's what the trapezoids are doing, and when the metals need to go to disposal, they get it uses those short triangle track loops, which are good.
Yeah.
You would wonder, so how does this not? Yeah. You would wonder how this doesn't just like blow Foxy out of the water, but I think what Foxy did well compared to Mikulius' solution here is the actual output.
Yeah, the outputting
just a
uses
lot
up
of area
a ton
being
of area
taken.
over there on that side. I have
There's
to
some
zoom
big
in
strings.
because if I don't zoom in, this is what happens to the area display.
Yeah.
Mr. Puzzle,
One of these
fix
days
your
there's going to be a
mod.
compatibility mod for that.
Mr. Puzzle, implement zoom into goes officially, please. Thank you.
That's what it's called. Anyway, this one's pulling metal really fast.
Yeah, it's disposing iron and copper, or is it just copper? Time to slow this down again.
I think it has to be iron and copper. If you're pulling at input rate.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's iron
There's
and
iron.
copper. Yeah.
Iron and copper, that's the ticket.
People in chat saying this solves almost shit like a bird. And this solve has no notes. I think we can move on then. Next up, in 12th place, at 144 area, with a lot of notes, we have Team Transcendental Brick. What the hell is happening? Is that
I wish I knew.
Track with pistons? There's a lot of notes, so I'm gonna have to start reading those. This week, I, Dark Rick, continued working on the team with Transcendental Guy. Although we ended up mostly going our separate ways, I did this race off, he did the ammons, and giving some minor feedback to each other here and there. Thanks to this arrangement, I had more time to do other productive things, like mining obsidian in Minecraft. Metric review. The gimmick is pretty easy to figure out. You need to dispose 1.33 Quicksilver every single cycle, so use the provided lead to dispose of higher metals instead. That's it. That's the whole puzzle. Once you figure that out, it's just arm geometry all the way down. You're gonna have to give this metric a B- grade. Making a rate solve is pretty fun and the gimmick is pretty unique, but after you get the min rate, the secondary isn't very exciting to optimize. For me, the best kind of puzzle is one where the min primary is just barely possible to reach it, so you feel accomplished when you get to it, like doing thermite tape cost. If the primary is impossible to perfect, like a sum puzzle, or too easy, like non-Quintilian rate, then you don't get the satisfaction from solving it. Solve explanation? I'ma keep it real with you, Chief. I have no idea what I was cooking when I made this. The ideal best way to disassemble the input added like this would be to move it to a demander while grabbing the air, then pivot it twice, grabbing one quiver each rotation. Of course, this is rate we're talking about. Where was I? I scrolled down. Of course, this is rate we're talking about, so you can't do that effectively without a trillion pipelines. Next best thing is to rotate it using a hexagon and have 3 demanders, grabbing 1 quicksilver after each hexagon rotation. This approach, of course, introduces 2 major problems. 1. You need to duplicate the setup twice. Each hexagon handles half the inputs. And 2. The quilters need to be grabbed from 3 very different spots, and all moved onto the same projection. If you were smart, you'd use a different setup instead of a hexagon, but this solve is good enough for me. Cool things this solve has that are worth mentioning. Look at those track loops going around the hexagons. That's so silly. Those arms are having so much fun going round and round. Another cool thing is the lonely arm 2. Where's arm 2? There it is. Lonely arm 2 right at the output, whose only job is to grab 1 air to desync the 2 sides of the machine so they don't output at the same time. You could probably get rid of it if you reprogram the machine in a clever way that causes it to be grabbed at the same time. And I don't want to think about it. There's too much going on in this machine already, and because it's mirrored, editing it takes twice as much time. Cost is a tertiary, so it's not as big of a deal. Not like you're gonna lose a placement over it. One last thing is the atrocious metal management on the right. The lead gets grabbed and moved by a 3-long arm. That's a good start. Then after being promoted, it gets grabbed by 3 different arms to get to the output. So that's a pretty big waste of area. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned this to you, so this puzzle would look more efficient and less flawed. Doesn't really that much. This is all for fun. It's getting late for me, so I'm ending the notes here before I write down something stupid. Good luck. The solve says
Thank
arm
you for your
2.
explanation, Dark.
I don't think
Rick?
I don't think arm 2 it was the arm
Hey.
Dark Mick was referring to. I think it's probably arm 36, the one unsymmetrical arm. Next to Curtelli. To the left of Curtelli. What is it doing there?
So we have done
Oh.
it. We are disposing gold in this solution. So we have disposed all metals, including quicksilver.
You have to dispose air, though.
So this solution does a great job of solving the problem caused by the hex arms, which are the three different debonders. All those waste streams have to go to roughly the same spot in the end. There's track loops are also being used for swing space. The stuff way on the right for management of getting metals into disposal. You can see how area conscious it is. It's just good.
Also, I'm probably gonna be running the solutions at this speed.
Also, probably the best Critelli of all the solutions so far.
Oh, true. Wait till we see a Curtelli
That
that's
is
just
good.
the single area that isn't used in a solution, though. That's gonna be amazing. Just in the midst of things.
Yeah.
The real disposed metal is the friends we made along the way. You're disposing your friends? How
Oh my
could you?
So the metals were my friends.
This solution would do numbers on the Discord. I'm just saying. Not the Discord, the subreddit, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Alright. What if we dispose Quint? That's a future puzzle that we can have. Alright, next up we have in 11th place at 140 area. It's starting to pile up. Sockboy. Sometimes silver. I forgot these start out slow. Opus Magnum, why isn't the solution speed constant? So this solve has a giant metal string in the middle that that Quicksilver can hitch a ride onto.
Well, this is such a swag idea. Here it. So what Sockboy is doing here is saying, hey, I don't want to actually care about where the projection glyphs are. I just want the Quicksilver to have to go on the same like horizontal row, and if it's on that horizontal row, I want it to just work. And this pays off.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember seeing this. I thought it was a really creative way to deal with the waste. That was pretty early on though, so I didn't have many comparisons.
I don't think there's many solves that do this even. I don't know if there's any. Are there any other solves that do this? No, we haven't seen any so far.
I don't
if there's
know.
any more later on. Yeah, we'll see.
It's really pretty either way.
Solve? But yeah, if you have nothing more to say though, we can move on. Next up, Alright. In would-be 11th place, we have our first playtest solve by CrazyBot himself. You want to talk about your own solve?
I don't know what there is to talk about. It's a solve.
It's a solve.
We
If
have
anything, it's a bit similar to the
several
previous
metal
idea,
buttons.
just in a different
Yeah,
shape.
It has two chains, except it doesn't. When it projects, it takes the metals off the chain. So not really.
It has two chains just moving. It's got two chains with a little speeding up here and there.
Yeah, this disposes of iron, copper, like I think it was bricks.
Oh yeah, it had the same amount of disposal. We haven't seen actually disposing Quicksilver in a while. Though
The
Quicksilver
hex arms on
CrazyBot,
the
the
right
kind of guy to
are a
deal
really
with
cool idea. The hex arms on the right are a really cool idea because with the same arm, you're both loading Quicksilver onto a projection glyph and also tossing reactive air closer to where it needs to go when it's time to have a reactive air.
Yeah, I remember. I was pretty happy when they came up with that. And then other people's solves started coming in.
Yeah, that's what happens. This is why I don't playtest, so I can't be upset about the solve I didn't make. No,
But considering I'm not an area person at all, or I wasn't before this puzzle, I'm pretty happy with what I came up with.
Yeah, RA is not an easy metric to optimize for. It requires a lot of planning. More so than you would with RG. I mean, not that RG doesn't require planning, but you can get away with a lot more without planning in RG. With RA,
Yeah, you
hit a limit.
can't just throw stuff wherever you want anymore.
Yeah. All right, moving on then.
Good job, Crazy. You realize I've had like 3 months to do this, right?
Oh yeah.
This isn't that impressive.
Alright, moving on then, we have in 10th place at 134 area, Avenge Roller and Skyhawk. Carousel. That is a lot of multi-arms right there in the middle.
That's...
The notes say, Well, Skyhawk says, built this day one and is pretty happy with the area. Tried for a while to fit the disposal into the center, but couldn't figure it out. I don't have the skills to make a single pipeline solve, but it'll probably be smaller. Can you make a single pipeline solve with this? At this rate? At the rate you need to pull the input? I don't know about that.
Can I just point out that Avenge Ruler and Skyhawk put 4 length 3 hex arms in their RA solution and still got top 10? How do you pack stuff that well?
True. Cuckoo52 did a single pipeline. True. I mean, you can if you want to argue, it did split up into the Quicksilver line and the output line, but I guess it is a single pipeline if you want. If you want. 4 did a single pipeline. True.
No, there was the other pipeline that disposed lead.
Oh yeah. Very important. But yeah, somehow very compact despite having 4 full-length hex arms still. Lots of things under those hex arms. It's almost like that invisible ink saw. Alright. Moving on then, we have in 9th place, at 133 area, Fuyu.
Oh my.
These solves are these solves are super tight. This does not look symmetrical. What is this?
There's a bunch of spinning arms.
They're just dancing arms, just because they can be there and the area is used anyways because of swings. Alright.
Oh no, is it because they don't have an AM arm solve, so they're improving their AM arms?
Oh yeah, the solve title is Am-Arm Secondary, question mark.
Oh my god. They're just improving their AM arms with...
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. The notes say, given the other metric this week, just for fun, I placed extra arms in every available spot in my original solution, during the cost tertiary to the wind. But what would happen if somebody really optimized for AM arms as a secondary? Maybe one day we'll find out. It might not be that different because I think swing space is the more significant thing. This one we haven't seen this in a while. This one's actually disposing of Quicksilver. in the little bottom pipeline.
Oh, it just has like a little chain.
Yeah. There's plenty of...
Yeah, this is a single pipeline. I can't quite comprehend how it works, but it works.
Yeah.
I would say it's two
single
still.
pipeline, but has it. It's kind of hard to tell with this one. It takes a lot of ideas from 2 pipeline, but like tries to condense things over on the right.
You've got to work out what arms are actually doing things.
Mm-hmm. I would argue this is actually 3 pipelines. The inputs get pulled into 3 different directions. Yeah, I would say this is actually a 3 pipeline solve. There's the arm 1 pipeline, arm 2 pipeline, and arm 3 pipeline. Oh wow, how convenient. They named... Fuyu has the arms named for us. All right. Next up,
Yeah.
we
Okay.
have.
So it is.
Mhm.
It is one pipeline. It's just that it is one either one pipeline or three pipeline. However, you're going to describe it. Just that two of the two of the stations where Quicksilver gets peeled off are treated similarly enough that it looks like two pipeline. That's why it's symmetrical.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand this now.
Yeah.
Good solution for you.
For me, it's like three pipelines that merge together at the final output assembly.
Okay.
The middle pipeline has a reactive air. The top and bottom pipelines have just elemental air.
Yeah.
Alright, next up we have in 8th place at 101 area and 1,100 gold. We have Vermilion Dragon,
Oh, wow.
new submitter.
Big drop.
Big draw. 32 area drop. This also isn't entirely symmetrical. What's up with that? I also like how it swings the lead into place while the output is being pulled out. A bit of input suppression trick as a treat. But yeah, this is solidly a 2 pipeline solve.
Related to input suppression.
Yeah.
Jamu says, yeah, this solve makes elbows instead of triangles first.
True.
The last air is the middle one. That's really interesting. I wouldn't think that would be the best way to do it.
I mean, we don't know if it's the best way to do it. We're not looking at first place.
You're right.
Yeah, but we're kind of getting there though. This was a big drop.
Yeah.
So this is a very strong argument for this being sauce.
Mm-hmm. Sergi D says now it feels hard to save area. Yeah, now this looks compact. When you look at it, it's compact. Also, Vermilion Dragon has some very confusing notes. They have sent me a list of numbers generated from random.org. Thank you, Vermilion Dragon. Oh, and also 8 coin flips. There are 4 heads and 4 tails. If you're curious. Yeah, that's all. Very confusing notes. Alright, next up, we have at also 101 area and 995 gold. Ebonov.
Our secondary tie.
Yeah.
Tertiary actually matters.
Now this is reminding me of who was it? Saul.
Oh my. You know,
One
instead
with
of
the
making
jack.
a chain with
Sockboy,
the metal,
like, instead of being
Yeah.
you can just make a chain with the big input.
Mm-hmm. Double bricking. Bricking it up for real. Too many atoms on the play at
okay,
the
yeah,
same
this
time,
has
though.
style.
Yeah.
There's an arm in the top right that both helps build the input and disposes of a Quicksilver.
This would also do numbers on the subreddit.
The disposal arms dispose a little bit every once in a while once they're free. It does
I feel like
batching
this
in a
one
way.
works really thematically. I feel like this one works really thematically with what the puzzle is about, is making these streams of the smog and cleaning them up.
This is your catalytic converter.
Yeah. This one also, is it only disposing gold and Quicksilver?
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. By only disposing gold and like an occasional bonus Quicksilver, Ebenov has a lot of time to do the waste management however desired.
Yeah, you see the Quicksilver laying there for quite a while before Arm 19 takes its sweet time to get to it.
Yeah. 3 golds and 1 Quicksilver. That's 16 Quicksilver disposed, so that's done every 2 outputs, which means Ebenov only has to Ebenov only has to draw 3 metals every 24, I think, 24 cycles, whatever. More slowly than usual, and it pays off because Ebenov does not really have that much space to swing metals and stuff, but because of the speed, it works.
Mm-hmm. I like how the metal passes over, like, falling into the falling into the projection glyph Quicksilver. Goes to show how
how is
fast
that?
the collision turns off once it's dropped in. I think that's true for all
That metal pipe
concentrators,
mine
right?
does
When an
not
atom
look like
is
it should
being-
work.
A lot of things that only work because when an atom is like being consumed or being appeared, it either doesn't have a hitbox or barely has a hitbox. So that's how you do that like pseudo input suppression where you're swinging through an input, or I would hit this Quicksilver, but it's being consumed, so who cares?
It's
Or I would
already
hit
gone.
this thing, but it's being eaten by disposal, so who cares, etc.
Mm-hmm. But alright, the solve has no notes, and we can move on. Next up, we have at 80 area, in 6th place, we have Jamu.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
That's another drop. Another drop straight down
Almost
to 8.
working. It seems like it's working pretty well to me.
The notes say, basically Quicksilver scramble. Couldn't figure out how to route all the QS to just one side, so I made a little side path to deal with it. Probably a bottom 10 solve. Way too tired. Good night. I mean, how many submitters are there? No, number 23. This is more like a top 10 solve than a bottom 10 solve.
We are all sleeping on Jamu's skill level.
Sir GT says, what a drop, truly. Min is probably 60-ish? Damn, that's some bold claims right there.
Wow. Yeah, I wonder how low it goes.
Crazy Bot says, I wonder how low it goes, even though, he knows how low it goes. Being a host
Min is probably at
great.
least 2.
Min is at least 2. True.
I mean, you have to have, like, the input and the output, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's 2 things. Min is 2. But yeah, really, what I like about this solve is just the gold trickling down on the side. It kind of looks like sand falling down. Just sand falling down.
Yeah, this is just... By now, we've just thrown symmetry to the wind.
Symmetry? What's that? But yeah, as Sir GD mentioned earlier, like
Symmetry?
the amount of atoms you have on the board at any moment is an important factor in how low you can get your area in RA. You want to like minimize
Symmetry?
the amount
That
of
sounds like it
atoms.
costs area.
Symmetry? Cost area? Alright. Next up, we have in 5th place at a little bit of a drop once more. At 78 area, we have Bambi. Long time no see, Bambi. Hello. Bambi says in their notes, I don't get to play marbles much ever since math grad school consumed my entire life, but I was able to find some time this week to do the puzzle. Nothing too fancy in this solution, a little glyph heavy, but the area is used well by productive movement and necessary swings. Disposal is a little sloppy and could probably benefit from a redesign. We really ditched symmetry. What is this?
Everything.
Nothing
Everything
fancy.
is packed really well.
They're intentionally bonding metal to the air to move it around. They don't call that
we
fancy.
are experiencing bricking.
So from both Bambi and Demu, I'm noticing a motif of one of the three inputs, because we're like in different inputs, 3 pipelines territory here. One of them, don't even try with the metal, just put all the Quicksilver directly into disposal. It's the other two that get the turn with the lead, and I think on both we have seen that come out as gold. So good motif.
The faraway Quicksilvers get to hitch a ride. They're carpooling. I stole that joke from Cosmo. Some kind of solution.
Yeah. That's what one of my solutions was called.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say, like, other people's solution titles that they didn't?
I mean, I don't see why not, unless the solution title was spoilery, like, oh, whoa, 60 area.
Right.
But yeah, very compact solve. I could probably start pressing the zoom in button on these solves. Arm 9 and 12.
9 and 12?
Where's Arm 9?
Arm 9's not on track.
I'm really digging the efficiency of like the lower left. Well, the lower left
22?
pipeline, you have to kind of go a long way around to get the air to where it needs to go, but that long way around is over the glyph disposal, which is used area anyway, so no one cares.
Yeah. Like glyph is chunky. Nobody likes it.
Shout out to the glyph disposal for being so large that this puzzle is possible.
That's the other metric.
It's a large lab.
We don't talk about the other metric.
You're right, never mind.
AMARBS doesn't exist. AMARBS isn't real. Alright, we can move on then. Next up, in 4th place, we have at 77 area. Oh, no, this is not 4th place. This would be 5th place. At 77 area, we have another host solve. Wow. Is this the Weeklies team? Is this really the Weeklies team? Us playtesting our puzzles?
Why would you do such a thing?
Why would you do such a thing? Truly. But yeah, this is Gooey's steak in the sand. This was technically this was finished after the submission started, but it has all just been iterations of Gooey's original design that they pushed down to this level. The soft name is hilarious.
Metal hex arm time.
The soft titles. I know alchemists who use symmetry, and they're all cowards. We can't afford symmetry at this at this level of area optimization. What's the highest ranking a host score has gotten during the weeklies? Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, I remember now. It's Zorflax in 0th place.
Because that can happen.
It was in Eye Drops of Irritation. And then he challenged the community to try to beat him. That happened, yeah.
But yeah, when Gui sent this, I was like, I was really impressed because I didn't think of the metal hex arm.
Mm-hmm.
In hindsight, it's not as hard to find as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But still not that many people used it.
It gives you a lot of places to dump your Quicksilver in a very compact space. And the notes say, a partially optimized new solution won, but wasn't able to work on it for long before the puzzle got released. With some more iterations, I think I could have got this to about 70, plus or minus a hex or two. Well, hopefully it's a minus. That gives it 69.
Yeah, it's just nice to not have to route the Quicksilver because you just have this massive centerpiece that acts as disposal.
Mm-hmm. It's really just like a more convenient disposal. The other disposal sucks.
With
This
all
is
the
much
advantages
better.
this has, I'm surprised it's not lower.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see it again. Next up. In fourth place, we have at 76 area, Mr. Arpiozo. The solution title is Rasagbar. I don't know what that means.
Probably like
Probably an
Omsin
acronym.
or Omclone. It's the commands, right? It's release, retract.
Why would release be first?
I don't know.
Let me see if that matches any of these arms.
You're getting
No.
more swings over disposal.
Oh yeah. Disposal is used area anyways, so you know it makes it convenient to just swing over it. A bi-arm? Hey, we don't judge here. Arms can be bisexual. Is there a bi-arm in this also? Oh, it's arm 15.
And right in the middle.
What is arm 15 doing anyways? It's disposing of Quicksilver and also delivering the arm to delivering a input to one of the debonders. Is Cortelia used hex in the area? One moment. No, it is not. We could probably keep a zoom at this now.
Yeah.
There are no notes to the solve.
This is super compact. Love it.
It only gets more compact from here.
Yeah, at this point I'm just like, how does this not crash for all of these solves?
Mm-hmm.
This went a lot farther than they thought it would.
Did it?
Well, I mean, I don't know how far I thought it would go before I released it. Before.
Oh, you mean how low the metric goes?
'Cause-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like being pleasantly surprised. It's the best part about being host, seeing other people do your idea but better. Just one projector, really? Damn, alright.
Oh wow, you're right. That's
the advantage of like disposing a lot of the Quicksilver too.
so all the Quicksilver gets routed onto those two hexes, just disposal and the one projector.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the metal has to go to disposal too.
Having just one projector is great. Not just for like the metal routing purposes, but also just the glyph projection takes up 2 hexes and you're trying to save those.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of area that's being swung over anyways here, though, but it also means you have to get the lead over there, you know?
Yeah.
Alright, next up, we have, in top 3, we have, at a very nice area of 69, Sir GD. That's a drop.
Wow.
We went from 76 to 69. And this one has
I'm
the
happy that
disposal
somebody
in the
got
midst of
69.
everything. Yeah. The notes say, didn't bother with am-arms after realizing what it took to get min. Just hope somebody else found min am-arms. This solve is pretty compact, but the initial input delivery would be compacted by 5 areas, so with some iteration. What do you mean? Min am-arms is easy. It's 48 Quicksilver, you
Okay,
can't
wow,
just
stuff is
leave
constantly
48. Yeah, you were saying?
stuff is constantly swinging over the glyph of disposal here. It's like there's still enough time to dispose everything. Wow.
That disposal is busy, despite not actually disposing often.
Yeah. I mean, it's free area.
I also like that
Throw
critique.
them. Just out of the way of everything.
You know how
So
some
GD
people were. Okay, so this reminds me of this is a weird comparison, but you know how like when people are making stuff in a kitchen and people are like trying to go in and out of the kitchen and they're getting upset because they're trying to do something. That reminds me of that with like everything swinging over disposal while it's trying to dispose of stuff.
Yeah, you have those pistons that just have to wait their turn. Like on
Pistons are
14.
waiting patiently. We'll be seeing a lot more of patient pistons.
Look at arm 21.
Arm 21 does one thing and it does it well.
Ooh.
But yeah, SearchGT said in the chat, left side can be done better. Probably. Probably. Maybe.
Probably.
It does look like it's using like the most area out of this solve. Like there's a bunch of empty hexes right there.
Yeah, though there's not. I don't know how you get it to go better because of the input shape, you can't slide it off and keep min rate.
But there's probably there's maybe a better way about it. Who knows? Well, we will see.
Well, there's still 2 solves to go.
Next up, in 68 area and 880 cost, we have Sai Looks Away, sub 70. Also, that means Kazian wins. Congrats, Kazian!
Congrats.
Oh, well, dang! I thought I was next.
Yeah, I said 68 area, and Kazian thought he was next.
Nope. Kazian wins
Yeah.
on tertiary.
Wow. And somebody said tertiaries wouldn't matter. Look at that. It matters for like matters when it's most
Okay,
important.
well, we have
Should have bothered
the
shaving that last
Sorry.
area.
The hex arm
The
is
return
back.
of the metal hex arm.
I'm sure Gooey is pleased that metal hex arm makes it to min area for RA that we know of. Searchy D says, should have bothered shaping that last area, lol. You're at 800 cost, so, you know, you wouldn't have gotten first place exactly either. But it would be funny to see a 3-way secondary tie.
More impressed that neither of the 68 solves decided to sacrifice one area for the bit.
this appears to be just a GUI solution, but moved everything closer. And yeah, there are
GUI
some
solution,
implementation
but better.
details, but that is spiritually what it is.
Mhm.
You need like 2 rows of hexes to put for the top pipeline. Can we call it pipeline? I'm going to call it pipeline. So you get 2 rows of hexes. That is it. We are not doing any more than that.
Mhm.
Once we're done with all the Quicksilver, you get like 1 bank of arms, and that is it to move stuff where it needs to go.
Yeah. It's very compact. It does exactly what it needs to. And we will see how to make it cheaper. Kazuya, you want to talk about your solve?
Oh, I would like to attempt. My stream is having a little trouble loading, so I'm seeing my solution on delay. Okay, so when I first saw this puzzle, I was thinking, so I got to do this with 3 pipelines, right? Because you need three inputs to make an output. So that's what I'm going to do. I experimented with period 4 using 2 pipelines, but the problem with period 4 is that each arm can only do one thing unless you're making a huge freaking trap loop. And I didn't want to make a huge freaking trap loop. So I tried a few iterations on like small swings for this, and this set of swings is what I kind of fell into. And as for managing the lead and stuff, I mean, I just did it the hard way. I needed to figure out how to get lead to multiple places. That's what I did. That's why there's kind of like the upper right of the solution is kind of messed up. There's like equilibrium hexes and a lot of track, but I mean, I figured it out. So it looks like things almost crash, and it's hard to understand why it doesn't crash. It's hard for me to understand too. I kind of just like they crashed, so I tinkered with it until it didn't crash. Then I tinkered with the next thing that crashed, and on until it finally didn't crash. I would love to dispose of the Quicksilver from that central pipeline by putting it in the glyph of projection, but I actually can't, so I just kind of threw up my hands and said, okay, you're going directly to the glyph of disposal. Have fun, bozo.
I do wonder if you
my
can save
first
on
version
15.
Yeah, my first version of this was 71 area. Then I realized, okay, well, I gotta get to 69 then, right? So I just kept staring at it and staring at it until I figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, modifying the lead distribution could improve things. I couldn't figure out how to do it. There are some like tight requirements. If you notice on the left projector, a metal gets removed at the same time that a lead gets put back on it, and that is forced based on the timing of when Quicksilver goes in there. So it's a huge pain.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at arm 15 sticking out like a sword thumb, wondering if that could be saved somehow.
Which one's on 15 again? Like
The one on the very right. It feels like this could be here and like dispose of Quicksilver with this motion.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at that as well. It's just that, okay, the thing you're about to try to do, I thought of it and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, Gooey's here.
Gooey's
in chat.
here!
Okay. Thank you, Gooey.
I need to add...
Yeah.
Oh, Gooey's just
probably
in chat.
like the...
Oh, oops.
Yeah, the part of this that makes the lead distribution work at all is arm 21, where it does the climbing rope fiber sum thing, where you get a translation of a turn, the opposite translation, and then you release, and then all you have to do is the opposite turn. because this is working at period 6.
Also, GUI can just join the stream whenever they wish. I don't have to let them in.
Yeah.
Enter the commentary. Still, despite like the few places you think you still could have optimized, still a very impressive solve, and in first place. I have to wonder, did you do any cost optimizations?
There's at least 10G left to save on this, but I didn't bother resubmitting.
That's fair.
Because you see those 3 arms on the triangle in the lower right, that could just be a piston and 1 arm on 2 track. And there's a thing in the upper right where you can merge two of those tracks, so you save another 5 gold there. Gilder, sorry. That's all I noticed, and I was thinking, if somebody is gonna beat me on tertiary in this metric, then they can have it.
Yeah, true.
We kind of got the opposite case, though.
I assume Silex Away probably isn't that disappointed in getting second place either.
Yeah.
Hey, Joey.
Hi.
Hello. I managed to catch the end of Rate. Gosh.
Yeah,
Well done,
we're just about to
Kazian.
start MMs.
Congratulations.
Yeah, this is a really beautiful solve.
Yeah, you're I was very fond of your first submission, actually, the one that you called carpooling. I thought that was very neat. I was like, it was the first low solution, like the first real low area one that came in. I was like, good. And it was so different from the solve that I had been working on as a test that I was like, oh yeah,
we saw that.
I'm really excited to see what everyone comes up with. So yeah.
Yeah, I liked that solution as well, but it had some big swings, and I wanted to see if I could do it without big swings.
Now it has
This one has big swings too.
It
just does like death-defying swings over all of the important stuff.
Yeah, I really like that this puzzle allows multiple different approaches to rate, and it was really interesting to see.
Yeah, I wish the rate metric was a lot more popular. We have a lot more M-arm solves.
Thanks, Bist.
M-arms is a popular one?
M-arms is a popular one. Yeah!
Yeah, we got so many M-arms
Hey, to be
solved.
fair, M-arms is easy.
Okay, so this is the one I'm going to get 14th place in. Got it.
Alright. We will be moving on then. We will be booting up that M-arms parser.
Let's go to the real metric.
Okay.
The real metric of this week that everybody's been looking forward to. Rate isn't real. I'm sorry, Kazian.
Okay.
It's prophecy came true though.
I'm going to let
Kazian has that commentator luck this week. He got his first place.
Thank you. I'm going to let Gooey talk for a bit. Gonna check on food and stuff.
All right. Next, let's see. Which one of these is actually a hammer saw? I think we haven't seen YB1 solved. New solution 1. I believe this is arms.
Well, I mean, if we didn't show it in raid.
Yeah, we didn't show it in raid. Well, starting off with an arms of 44, we have YB1. This is why it didn't show up in raid, because it has infinite area. Great.
Right.
Why is it named A-Star and not Am-Arms? Because I didn't feel like writing out the entirety of Am-Arms.
Star just stands for Marms.
Yeah. It's an abbreviation for arms, but I can't use an apostrophe, which is usually used for abbreviations because that's already taken. Actually, technically, it's a prime symbol, not an apostrophe. Another week, another place near last. Well, it's a solution.
And I mean, it's not last.
Yeah, and
It's
surprisingly,
just
it has no disposal. Because with disposal, you don't have to use 40 per area. There's a 48 Quicksilver generated. There's at the end of the solution, there's 48 Quicksilver left over on the board, and you're gonna have to put all those 48 Quicksilver somewhere. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to put it in disposal, which we will certainly see coming up.
Yep.
No, this is a 17 storm solution. We've seen that. This is Fuyu solution. This is M-Arms. Did YB1 have notes? Oh yeah, it just says this is a solution and a solution. Alright, Fuyu at 22 M-Arms, taking a quick drop already, and at 93 cycles, we have Fuyu. Who needs gold? Get rid of it. Dispose of it. So, if you have disposal, you don't really need the medals. That's kind of an extra 3 area right there. 3 ammos right there.
If you're not at min rate, you
Checking
don't
out
need
17.
the medals for to fit everything in disposal.
And I doubt the arm solves are at min rate, but I mean, it's not even the primary, so you know you shouldn't even be
It's not.
considering putting in the
Why
medals.
would you do that?
Now, let's say, though, apparently in the OM universe, Smog contains so much spare Quicksilver that the byproducts of the neutralization process can literally be used to turn lead into gold and silver. We should be harvesting all these precious metals if only such efficient process existed in reality. Since 6 products generates 48 waste Quicksilver, using a disposal glyph turns out to be more space efficient than simply storing metals on the board. But that's 6 hexes that are not being put to work. Try to find a clever way to pull inputs into a debonder without suppressing the input but without success. So, yeah, the metals don't have to be there.
YB1 saying who's at 23rd, I think it's 70 Storm,
Yeah, that's 70.
who we showed in rate.
Yeah, that was 42 am-arms that we already showed in rate. It does do things really fast though, and that's really what am-arms comes down to. It's trying to like do these as trying to make the input and the output as fast as possible, because you basically get infinite arms to work with.
Oh yeah, you also have Arm 17, which has no jobs and is just spinning around.
Oh yeah, we love Arm 17. We all strive to be Arm 17. it has one very important job. It's to reduce the am-arms count.
Carbon capture, except it's copper. Yeah, you know, we have too much mercury in the air. We just need to release some more lead into the air to fix it. So that's the solution.
Am-Arms gets a lot of flack, but it is so far the only metric we've been mentioned in which party arms are optimal, and I think it deserves credit for that.
So true.
No, they're not optimal. They cost you tertiary.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't matter if they cost you a tertiary if they save you on a primary. Especially when it's a necessary party arm like this one over here.
True.
Yeah, so one route to a lower am-arms from this solve, you might notice, is that
remove the metals. You don't need them.
Yeah. If you've got disposal, you can just chuck the Quicksilver away. So
I don't think this solve is
that's
fast enough
3.
to warrant actually the metals. We made it basically just needed metal at. You basically only need metal. Only need the lead at full rate.
But it's definitely in the am-arms spirit, and you know, should definitely be commended.
All right. Next up, we have Oh, we're at min. We are at 19 arms at 191 cycles. Mikulius. 21 people at min. Let's go. It only cycle. Thank you, Mikulius.
Well, that's a wacky
This
spinning
is a
hex
case
arm.
where party arms may not exactly be optimal. But...
Who cares? It's at 19 am arms.
It's optimal for the metric of sheer delight. I mean,
we are delighted. Thank you, Mikulius.
Thank you, Mikulius. You made our days brighter.
Incredible.
But yeah, for those of you who know, what is the limit of cycles? Is there a lower limit? Because you do have infinite arms, and it really just comes down to routing the air and Quicksilver.
Well, if you want min cycles, you have to swing the input out, since there's no slide that can take the input off of the input glyph in one cycle.
But if you slide it out though, can you slide it out within 19 area? Well, I'm not slide it out, swing it out within 19 area. Maybe with one of those arms on a track moving out of the way tricks.
well, if the swing goes over disposal, that would be.
Oh yeah, true. You can swing over disposal. Maybe.
Yeah, 19. You actually have quite a bit of space. The disposal gives you quite a bit of space to work with.
But if you go for min rate, then you also have the problem that now you can't fit. It's the RA problem. You can't fit Quicksilver.
We saw how putting in the metals is worse.
Yeah.
Min rate is 13 with 1 debonder in theory. Says Spec 98. Alright, next up we have at 147 cycles we have Ambiventus.
Wow, drop.
The notes say, it took me longer than I like to admit to realize that you don't need to actually use the glyph of projection to concentrate waste. I think this might be theory min, but I could be missing something. No, we just said it, it's theory min.
It's that laugh is not. You're not selling it very well.
Well, this is theory min for enjoying the puzzle. We'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the best way of putting it.
At this point, we're not even hiding it. It's just funny to pretend this is min.
Yeah, this is. If you don't think this is theory min, you can just leave.
Your day will be brighter.
To talk about Ambiventus' actual solution, this is a really neat way of speeding up over Mikulius.
Yeah.
The trick here is just that there are 2 arms handling disposal, and so you can do that every 3.
Yeah.
You can do that every 3 instead of every 2. It just works. Then you get throw in some elegant swings, some economical ways of getting the air to where it needs to go, and you're golden. You've saved 50 cycles.
Greenfield in the chat saying, "Oh crap, sorry for the spoiler, I guess."
I mean, with the way people were talking about it, did you really think?
But to be fair, if you're in the know, it seems pretty obvious. But if you're not, it can't just fly. It can't just fly over your head.
Yeah, but this is a very nice clean way of solving the puzzle. In a sane universe, there'd be nothing to complain about with this, and Ambiventus in any case should be pleased with it. But yeah, unfortunately, Am-Arms is not that kind of ball game.
Thanks, Bist.
Alright. Next up, we have at 119 cycles, Speak of the Devil, Greenfield. And Marm 3. So, faster disposal, I take it. Not faster, faster outputting, I take it. Maybe?
So this one just grabs the input as soon as they can,
Yeah.
or almost as soon as they can.
Also faster disposal. You can do it every 2 cycles.
The notes say, Min-Am arms, I think? Besides arm 5 and 7 being single takers, I'm quite pleased with it. Oh, green child, you sweet summer child.
Greenfield, be happy you didn't have the realization that made the puzzle worse.
Be
Okay, everyone,
happy you didn't make the realization that made the puzzle the puzzle.
Start a minute 19 counter. We're at 2 so far, I think.
Alright. Next up, we have at 117 cycles, 2 faster than this one, Alex. I wonder if this is the same Alex that we know.
Yeah, I think so.
Because remember there being an Alex in the Discord chat.
So after a few solves without we had like 1 or 2 with sort of Amarmsy style trap loops, and then we had a brief interlude without them, but now it looks like they're coming back again.
What's interesting about this one compared to Greenfield to me is that, or really all the previous solutions, is that there's no point in which Alex takes a partially peeled input and throws it over as reactive air. All inputs get peeled. It's just that.
Oh yeah, the
after
bond
the
is just
peeling,
reformed.
Yeah.
Yeah, how does it do it faster then? With how does it make it 2 latency faster?
Quite a few of the previous solves had they wasted cycles in the handoffs between arms. Like for example, I think maybe MV Ventus's solve, for example, it had one arm pivoting, pivoting around the Quicksilver to bond onto it, and then it let go, and then the output arm grabbed it. Whereas because you have got so much time between the pivots, you can actually have the output arm do grab midway through and do the rest of the so there's lots of little things like that, which means that the deficit incurred by fully peeling the input is that Alex is not too heavily penalized by it.
The problem is the problem is regrabs, as with most area solutions, I guess. Alright, next up, we have at 105 cycles, Jamu! The note says, bad, made in 5 minutes. Hey, you beat, like, how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4 people at 19 area. 19 arms. So how
I mean,
does
if you
this
can
go
make a
faster?
track loop solution in 5 minutes, that's pretty impressive.
It is. It is quite impressive indeed.
Is this the first solve where sorry, it is still a slide. Okay, so these 19s, because they've got the space, I think so far everyone has slid the product onto the debonder initially, but when we eventually all know it's coming, when we eventually go lower, it'll be interesting to see what the sort of
If.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we do, I don't remember. Yeah, like, Vilbook says that most of these arms are actually just background characters. They're just there. They could be partying instead.
They're there to make the track loops work.
Yeah, they're made to fill in what would have been empty track.
These parties should have been at the club. These arms should have been at the club. I think.
Sometimes I feel like one of those arms.
So true. Alright, next up we have at 99 cycles, we have 42 Genius 42. And arms. And rate, I guess. Oh, it didn't show this for rate, but...
Oh. Well, it's only rate, I guess, so... It does look like arms is the main metric.
So what does this do fast? I haven't paid attention to most of the 19 arm cells, I'll be honest.
It double grabs... No, it grabs from the Quicksilver so it can...
Oh, so it can take... It
can dispose
kill
the
it
other
off
time.
faster, yeah. It grabs the input like with both hands. It seizes the opportunity with both hands. The notes say, I'll post this early as I don't think I'll have much time before the stream to post after tomorrow. This is supposedly M-Arms, expensive, but might not be last for rate either. We'll see. It wasn't last for rate, I'm pretty sure.
Thanks, Albatross.
Thanks, Albatross, yeah. Alright, next up, we have in 15th place at 93 cycles, we have Foxy Haze.
I think we're getting pretty close to that rate, man. That
How
spec.
low does it go?
You know, ARM 11 and 12 are a little bit freeloading. They need to do a little bit more.
Yeah, with a rate of 13, you'd expect the minimum cycle count to be somewhere in the 80s, I guess. Or...
It must be nice to get
Depends on
paid 20
data.
Gilder to be a swing space arm.
Just sitting there in the swing, within the swing space.
I do love. This has come up before, but I love the idea that it's the arms which are getting paid.
Yeah, they get like a salary.
The arms are animated. They get paid a salary. Yeah.
Does that also imply that glyphs get paid?
No. Glyphs don't deserve a salary. All they do is sit there.
Where's the money go then?
Directly to the provider. Directly to their boss. Just like the real world. Especially Equilibrium Glyph, yeah.
No, but this is very clean. This is grabbing by the Quicksilver, not fully debonding. Yeah, very nice.
All right.
From Foxy Haze.
Next up, we have in 87 cycles in 14th place, Sockboy. All right.
Oh wow! Wow.
Oh god!
I had to process that for a moment.
Okay.
Oh, look at the Mexican wave around the outside as well. Oh, that's beautiful.
That's a chocolate and a half.
A lot of people in events chat were complaining that they had so many arms. Where Sockboy is out here like, I get to have as many arms as I want.
It's beautiful.
Arms 33 and 32 in a slapping fight on the triangle track on top.
I love party arms. They're great.
The piston is the long suffering grown up parent, and the other two are the children in the back of the car fighting.
That's exactly like my D&D sessions. we have one party mom and all the little gremlins. I am one of the little gremlins.
Oh really, Bits? I would never have guessed.
Yeah. I play a 4-foot tall tabaxi. This isn't the last of our 19 area solves, though. Coming up after this.
Oh wow, it goes lower.
Yeah, no, it does. Well, I mean, it
Wow.
does, but it won't be we won't be showing it on stream until the showcases because somebody submitted an 86 cycle showcase, but 87 cycles by Mr. Arpioso.
That's a title.
It says, Amar's Marmite Marmalade. Say that 10 times fast. The notes say, Mar.
I don't even know. That stuff goes great on toast.
All of these things combined. Marmite, marmalade, marms, and some arms as a treat. Some arms as a treat on your toast.
I love smog on my toast.
Dead silence.
Just
We're all just coming up with something to say. Alright.
yeah, because we all know what's coming.
At this point, we should say that you can use projection to reduce the amount of arms. What you can do is use lead and use quicksilver, use the projection glyph, and that you don't need the disposal. Disposal gone. Goodbye. So you can project into lead instead. What that gives you is there's 48 atoms, and you only need like 18 arms to be better than all the 19 arms we're seeing here, and you generate 48 quicksilver over the process of the solution that need to go somewhere, and that somewhere can be into a projection glyph.
Yeah, the way the math works out, when you get to the last input, you have to have 2 air on the board and
so,
10 metals.
Min glyphs is 15 area. So, assuming you're using like the metal and this projection, min glyphs is 15 area. And you cannot get to 15 area because of a slight little quirk.
You have to have 2 air, 10 metals, and the input is 4. So at some point you have to have 16 atoms on the board at once.
Oh yeah, people say thank God, yeah. Thank God 16.
So min is 16.
Yeah.
Theory min is 16.
Theory
but
min is
did
16,
anyone
yeah.
get to it?
Did anybody
or, you
get
know,
to it?
do we
Yeah.
do we have
Like,
18s and
like Sergi
17s?
said, you know, did anybody get min arms? Well, I'm here to tell you, Sergi D. Everyone from here got 16 arms. Nobody settled. Welcome to 16 arms. Yeah, as you can see, min glyphs is 15. There's one extra Catelli right over there.
Honestly, anyone who got 16 is the winner in my book. You don't need to optimize for secondary.
But people sure did. And honestly, there's quite a lot of optimization space coming even after you get to 16 arms as well. Rebek spent most of the week on
Yeah, Rebek.
17. Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
right, yeah.
We were all holding out hope. We were like, as your souls were coming in, we were like, oh, come on, Rebix, you can do it. and then you did.
I mean,
and then we were like, you did it, but at what cost?
If you say that 17, that would have been a great opportunity to explain why 17 isn't min. And why 16 is the min instead. But yeah, we will see coming up. I will try to pause at when the board is full with atoms. All 16 area.
As ever, shout outs to Mr. Puzzle for this really. It was Mr.
yeah.
Puzzle that made this mod. Yeah, I mean,
I think so,
yeah.
yeah. It was a long time ago, but he did make it. Here,
He's done
this.
Yeah.
over the years. He's just done so much to make this game actually playable.
This is the stage
yeah,
where you
there
have
was-
16
yeah.
atoms on the board, and this is what limits the am arms to 16. So from here, you have to figure out a way to debond to the Quicksilver, which this solve does by, I am tabbing through, doing a lot of pivots, because pivots are one of the easiest ways to move around move around atoms and slide them past each other, because they're all 100-degree movements. You can move other atoms out of the way easily, and you can see all of these other arms doing
100 degrees.
that spinning movement.
That's not quite right. 120 degrees. Yes,
120,
but if you're moving a continuous loop of atoms, you can only do it if the internal or external angles of the shape are all 120 degrees.
Yeah.
If there are any 60-degree turns, you can't move two atoms simultaneously.
And yeah, once you debond those two Quicksilver, they can go into the tin, become copper, and you can output. Just like that.
I guess the nice thing about this puzzle is that you don't have to spend that much time at 16 atoms on the board.
Oh yeah, there's like literally...
After you get two of them into the glyph of projection, you have plenty of space to assemble the output.
Yeah. Like, most people have been complaining that the tedious part is actually optimizing all the 5 earlier outputs. Because all of the outputs are slightly different in how they're supposed to be outputted because of the different amount of waste that's on the board currently. And also because the 6th output is done differently. It's basically necessary to do this in 6p if you want to optimal cycles. So some people have suggested instructions as a secondary.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say. I strongly feel that would not have been.
I mean, the reason I am against it is because it makes 19 am arms pretty boring, and we sat there and talked about 19 am arms for a while. So it was still somewhat interesting enough.
I don't think we were expecting 12 people to get to min.
Well,
There's actually more than that.
Yeah, we're in 12th place, but
Well,
there's host solves as well.
Right. We have sort of an unfair. We get to see everyone's.
Yeah,
Well, yes,
Rebek's
but we
saying
completed our
missed
host solves
ideas.
before the puzzles were released.
Rebix has missed an idea. Rebix thinks you have to you have to leave more Quicksilver on the board.
Oh boy.
Because
Yeah,
of,
there are.
if you
Sorry.
if you use the third to last input and use that Quicksilver as your output, you're gonna run into issues. And we're gonna see how people solve those issues. Because some people thought that you had to do that. Alright, next up we have in 11th place at 298 cycles, Caluresis. Arms. It says...
I I think that was a bit understated. That to me looks like a scream, like ah, moms.
Marms. The note says, I miscounted how many atoms there would be for the last reagent, so I added Cortelli at the end. I didn't have time to do much secondary optimization. Yeah, it's easy to assume the min is 15 before you actually start solving the puzzle. I like the rotations here.
So this isn't like a comment on like the solution in particular, but I am just now noticing that when all the atoms in the loop translate in to the left or to the right instead of rotating as if on a hexarm, there's kind of a pulsing effect where they do get slightly closer to the center atom, which is just a neat effect to look at.
I also like whenever the atoms are swung, they take a weird trajectory. It's not exactly straight.
Yeah.
You don't usually think of that when you actually are able to see the arms. But yeah,
Do we
this
want
is
to be able to see the arms?
I mean, judge for yourself. Do you want to see the arms? There's a reason this model was created.
This metric was not very vanilla friendly.
I mean, GUI solved it.
No, it was not. No, it was not. Sorry. You might be able to tell where where that response comes from.
Alright. Next up, we have at 282 in would-be 11th place, we have our first host off, Crazy Bot.
Hey. Yeah, so you remember I said I wasn't gonna do this until like 3 days before the puzzle went live, and I was like, fuck it.
Well, yeah, I seem to remember that you actually were originally planning on you'd started from a 19 and you were gonna see, oh well, theoretically 16, but let's try like 17 out or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried an 18 and then
for a 17,
I was like,
got 16.
Yeah, just went straight to 16, and with no track loops at all, which
Well,
yeah,
no
you
track
don't
loops
need
certainly
track to
makes
do
it
this.
easier to program a bit.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
That's something someone with track loops would
easy
say.
to program. I would not say it makes it easy.
Oh, it's easy to program.
yeah.
It's hard. It's still hard to optimize because you have to drag a chunk of instructions just forward.
Also, note the title. I was joking in the Weeklies chat that we should call this puzzle Infinity War because it's the prequel to Endgame. with all the gold.
Yeah, this is how Endgame happens. They try to clear the pollution and create another kind of pollution. RM wasn't invented yet. We joked about how in the weekly chat how like gold is the plastic of the Opus Magnum universe. It's non-degradable and it's it's easy to produce. It's everywhere.
Thankfully, it's not Smog, so you can just dig a big hole and put it in there.
Well, yeah, my purse has got a big hole that you can stuff all that gold into, if you like.
I don't think it's going to be valuable anymore.
We're in a different universe. We could go multiverse traveling and pick up some of their gold and come back with it, right? Alright, next up. Oh yeah, the notes say thanks, Bist.
Everyone say thanks, Bist.
Yeah, you can say that as
Thanks,
sarcastically as you want. Next up, we have in 253 cycles, we have Event Ruler and Skyhawk. Oh god, why? Version 6. You made 6 versions of this? Yeah, I can understand your comment, oh god, why? The notes say, Event Ruler says, 15 seemed impossible every time I tried to math it out, so decided to optimize 16. Layout was designed with the final products in mind such that we can always just pivot to and displace minimal atoms. I would have tried to optimize more, but every cycle saved is a pain to resync, so I'll stop here before I find something else. Yeah, that's true. I find it interesting how it ends up with 2 silver. How did that happen?
Yeah, well, it's a perfectly valid way to store 48 quicksilver.
Yeah, instead of having an extra copper, we have like 2 silver instead.
It seems like it may be a way to make the programming easier because
Yeah.
if you store, it shifts the parity of how many quicksilver you've stored. So maybe that helps with this whole sanity thing, given the 6 iterations.
Oh yeah, it pulls off the silver quite early as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I imagine if it was an instruction secondary, we might have seen a bit more variety in like the order that waste gets added to, maybe, or would that? No,
Event
I'm not
says,
sure. But
Event Roller says making it so you don't have to move it out mid-cycle. So you don't have a silver at the start of an input pool, and then you have to move it out of a way where there's an input in a way. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Alright, next up we have, at 220 cycles, we have Sec 98. Finally. We're seeing a lot of this shape. Well, what are we calling this shape? Also, the notes say, no method, only madness. Why must we suffer in the casual weekly event?
Because best.
I don't know where you got the impression that Weeklies has easy puzzles. We started
To be fair,
last
this
year
one was pretty
we
easy.
started last year with Pitch Drop.
This one was pretty easy to solve. It's not.
Weeklies has puzzles that are not suitable for tournaments. This is both a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah. Weeklies is where we get to be a little wacky as a treat.
So we can see that this solve is making use of the free space at the start of the solution when there's no waste or very little waste on the board to swing atoms around rather than simply translating them, which lets it get the input clearer, faster, and it sort of increases the amount of movement options you've got. Obviously, that goes away once we get to the. I think it's like the fourth, fifth, and sixth products have to be very substantially different, just because the amount of waste starts to become rather difficult. But yeah, we've come down nearly 100 cycles in only like 4 contestants. So yeah. Speedy.
Also, I'm wondering how many people, what people reference to create these solves, because this puzzle was based on the fact that people made AMARM solves for. Well, this metric was based off the fact that people made AMARM solves for black powder, which is a similar AMARMS puzzle to this one, where there's a whole ton of waste, so you have to move around. I'm curious how many people remembered to go look at black powder. Because the last AMARMS puzzle was, Electric Fireworks, but it wasn't this kind of shit.
Yeah.
The actual puzzle you needed to go reference was black powder. You can look at Biggie's solution.
You have a
Okay.
sample size of 1.
And the discussion that followed it. Alright. Next up, though, in would be 9th place, we have at 215 cycles, Gooey. How place tested is week 5? Well, good enough to get 9th. That's just Shadow Cluster trolling the chat, saying, "Oh, how tested is
Yeah.
how tested is a week 5."
So
Try to
this is
imply
again
we didn't find this.
again, this is a trackless. This is a trackless solve because I knew we knew obviously that tracks would be the way to go for a number of different reasons, but I just wanted to really see how far you could reasonably push a piston only solve. And I didn't really optimize this. This was just, it's just programmed through the once, cleaning it up as I went. But yeah, this was
Well,
this
this
was
is
more
just
an
like
experiment than anything else.
an optimization of my layout, right?
Yeah,
Because I
absolutely.
just gave up after I got Min.
that is entirely fair.
So GUI helped to push it a bit farther, but 9th?
Well, there's some crazy softs coming up.
Yeah, people went crazy.
There are no notes. Next up, we have at 197 cycles, we have Kazian.
Hey.
Well, it isn't exactly 14th, but here it is. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, so I had the same thought process of getting to 16 as everyone else, but my main thought was, how am I going to get every atom to where I want it to go when the board is mostly full? And I thought of it kind of like a Rubik's Cube. You can turn some faces, then you can turn another face, and you do a little algorithm like that. And now, like, basically just the square you wanted to move has been moved. So I made 4 interlocking rings, and then I started solving the puzzle, and then I solved the puzzle, and then I stopped worrying about am arms.
This is why Kazan has first place in in rate.
Yeah, but I really love the Rubik's Cube analogy, and you can see it determined not just obviously the arms, but also the layout of the glyphs. I mean, you've got this, as Rabix is saying, it's embalming fluid shape, which comprises 4 overlapping regular hexagons.
Yeah, and you can see those hexagons in the shapes of the tracks.
And some of these arms don't actually start doing anything until later, even though they might be useful earlier, because that's the point where I closed OM clone, went, okay, I'm just going to need another arm for this. Put another arm there, opened OM clone back up, and then continued programming. I think the reason that I'm up here at number 8 instead of lower is just because I have a shorter track from the debonder to Quicksilver. But then again, I do have a long way to go to the bonder, so that could be a source of improvements. But we will see in like the next 7 solutions.
We will. All right.
It gets worse. I mean, it gets better, but like.
Yeah. I was just happy that I got under 200 cycles. I felt like, okay, under 200 cycles, that's probably good.
Yeah, you were the
and it is.
You were
It's
the
just
first
that there
up
are 7 people
200.
that get better.
And you were first place when I asked you if you wanted to join commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I got the request, I was thinking, so is it my rate or my am arms?
Okay, here's the funny thing. You were first in am arms, but you weren't in rate yet.
Okay.
But then it kind of just swapped around, so you were still first place, but in a different magic.
All worked out in the end.
But I mean, the main reason I want to ask you is, well, first of all, because GUI wasn't available earlier, but second of all is, because you're the person who has been on commentaries before that has submitted for both metrics.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright. Next up, we have at 192 cycles, Gecko. With some spicy tech.
Oh, this is a good one.
So, if you notice, there's an empty hex here on the track.
You don't need it to be equilibrium.
It doesn't have to be equilibrium. It can be track, and that has implications. You can move that area. There's the key idea. Yeah, people are saying it. Oh, it kind of does look like a gecko. True. This here is the sauce. Now Gecko has a lot of notes, so I'm gonna start reading them. It starts with Smoggers. Explanation of how a 16 is possible. You need 18 air, so 18 inputs. After you put 17 inputs, that's 17 air and 51 Quicksilver. And we've already done the math. You end up with 2 air and 46 Quicksilver. That's not right. Each lead you can hold 5 Quicksilver, so that's 2 air, 1 Quicksilver, and 9 gold on the board for a total of 12 atoms. And then the 18th input spawns, which makes 14 atoms on the board. To pull extra Quicksilver into lead, you need that lead to spawn. So temporarily there'd be 17 atoms on the board. So there's a 16. So for 16, there's no projection after the last input is spawned. That is not true. Gecko assumes that because Gecko thought that you had to, or more so, Gecko didn't think of trying to, use the last Quicksilver that is pulled. You end up with a situation where you'll see in a solution you're stuck with a lot of extra Quicksilver at the end because you weren't able to pull that extra lead. Yeah, we talked about it when Rebix mentioned it earlier too. Rebix saying right now, it works. But yeah, Gecko seemed to thought it was necessary. But,
It's kind of nuts that this actually works, though. Like,
it did lead to him discovering this solution, so we aren't complaining. Yeah, because Gecko already has the last Quicksilver on the board here, which it doesn't have to be because you can use the Quicksilver in the last input. There is no space to have lead to appear, but if this last Quicksilver wasn't here, you would have space to pull out lead. So, yeah. So yeah, I haven't finished reading the notes. I shall continue to do that as I let this solution run at probably a slower speed so I have more time to read it. The tricks needed. You can move atoms in a loop, and a 40 bond is possible with this, as I show. Because the glyph area is just 15, you can keep an atom on a track, allowing for back and forth shifting, which you see a lot of in my solution after the last input spawns. You need both these tools for the last move because the final product must shift off the bonder in one move. If it didn't, a gold would bond to it, and there's only enough room for a loop on one side. That isn't true for solves where you can promote the last Quicksilvers, but yeah. With this layout, I had a symmetric 16, which was pretty but slower. This glyph layout doesn't stick an arm in the middle of things. It's easy to feed a new lead into, and after debonding the air atom can pretty easily find its way to the bonder. The bottom track loop speeds up common tasks. The perimeter track has some weird kinks so that the perimeter arms can shift around in either direction sometimes, allowing for some perimeter arms to be used in those moves. Comments on the puzzle. I haven't played in 2 years, maybe, but I'd be surprised if more than 10 people got min on Marm's primary. I think every trick I described above is necessary for a 16 solution. My guess is no playtesters got 16, but thought it was probably possible. Well, almost nothing in that last comment section was true.
Wow.
Which is kind of funny. Gecko thought this puzzle was a lot harder than it actually was, just due to a tiny mistake. But still an impressive solution nonetheless. It led him to discovering...
The general rule for estimating how many people will get min is that the community is better at Opus Magnum than you think, even after you account for the community being better at Opus Magnum than you think.
Alright then, moving on. We have at 6th place at 186 echoes, Biggie. Birthday girl. Yesterday. This was a simple solve. We're back to simplicity, momentarily.
A bit of a breather.
Biggie has no notes. So what makes this faster than all of the other 16 solves we've seen so far?
I think it's that the debonder has immediate access to both the glyph of projection and the bonder.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, minimal fuss required once you've got atoms debonded.
Yeah, true. Alright, see ya, Greenfield. But yeah, this is pretty similar to all the other 16 arm solves we've seen. Apart from geckos. So we shall be moving on to 5th place at 184 cycles. They're all really close now. Sai looks away. A Marmalade 16. You can see the empty spot in the track. This is another one of those.
Oh wow, okay.
Not even a loop.
I've not seen this one.
Yeah, it's not in a loop. Doesn't have to be. The notes say, the ancient atomists believed that besides atoms, there had to exist void, else the atoms would be forever locked in a static arrangement. I always thought that this lacked imagination, since even a packed medium permits internal cyclical motion. But yeah, this one doesn't have an entire track loop going around to allow for that extra space. It just has, you know, a long track on the side for 3 spots for the atom to go into when needed.
Sloshy track.
Disty, think of how much suffering you've caused upon this world by making this 16 arms min possible.
I'm not the one who made it possible. I'm the one who noticed it was possible and then inflicted this upon you all.
You're still, like, mostly at fault.
I know I'm evil, but get my evil right.
Yeah, this track mover is really cool because that storage space. I mean, it's perfectly placed because you've got an atom conveniently placed to suppress the input at will, and yeah, it lets you have that sharp 60-degree angle in the profile of the available space, which otherwise would cause you headaches. But yeah, it's stronger than I had thought. I just assumed that anyone who would do this trick of using the extra space on the track would just naturally use a loop. But yeah,
The solution space for this was much bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah. It's often hard to predict the actual solution space that the puzzle ends up having. And I really like how there's this sort of secret sauce of the moving... in the in the Weeklies chat, I called it the moving 16, where the 16th area is being, moved around. Hi, Biggie. We just passed your solution.
Hey.
And you're looking at quite the crazy one here. Alright, next up we have in 4th place at 180 cycles we have Transcendental Brick. CrazyBot, I'm going to DM this to you, one moment.
Okay.
Where are you in my DMs? There you are.
Yeah, so Transcendental Guy pointing out what I was mentioning earlier, in that this saves time by taking advantage of the fact that at the beginning of the solution there's plenty of space to swing atoms larger distances.
What is?
Oh yeah, Bist, what's gone? There seems to be a problem with the overlay. The solution title and stuff's not showing up.
Am I supposed to read this?
Yes.
Okay, CrazyBot. Are you tired of that dreary, polluted air in your home? Do you wish you could breathe easy without those unsightly, bulky purification contraptions getting in the way? Well, folks, CrazyBot Industries has a solution you've been waiting for. Introducing the all-new SmokeStop 3000. This isn't just a machine, it's a revolution in home air quality, seamlessly integrated into your ceiling. Our engineers have worked tirelessly to make this the most efficient, hex-friendly device on the market. In fact, the area that appears under your ceiling, what we call the AM arms, is a tidy, space-saving 16 hexes. That's right, 16. The Federal Bureau of Alchemical Regulation, FBAR, approved. No more ugly machinery cluttering up your beautiful living space. Just pure clean air in an average of 30 seconds per use. And because we're so confident you'll love it, we'll even give you a full refund if the SmokeStop 3000 stops working in under 6 uses. It's a deal so good, it's practically magic. Refunds available only for purchases made within the last 14 days and requires proof of malfunction within the first 6 users in accordance with FBAR guidelines. CrazyBot Industries is not responsible for any lead accumulation or any unintended side effects from extended exposure. See packaging for a full list of terms and conditions. Results may vary. And
we are currently experiencing some technical issues here.
uh-oh. Do I have to read that again?
No, for some reason,
No.
my F function keys aren't working. Did I accidentally press function lock somehow? Is that on my keyboard? Do I have function lock on my keyboard?
Oh, yeah. Darkbrick is saying that the AH key may have broken because the solution's name is new solution square root of 2, and the square root symbol might not have been able
No,
to...
that shouldn't be an issue. I'm currently trying to load other solves.
Uh-oh.
And that's not working. My F key's just not, my function key's just not working.
Oh dear, I hope you've got a lot of money set aside for litigation, CrazyBot, because it sounds like you're going to be hearing from quite a few solicitors in the next couple of days.
I mean, that's only the first part. There's another. It's not me this time, though.
Yeah, one moment. Let me try to fix this. There we go. Alright. I restarted Python. It's having some issues there for some reason. Oh, it might actually be the square root.
Yeah, the title's gone again.
Ay. One moment. Where's the right metadata? Let's create data. Let's update. No, update metadata. With open as file Python file encoding UTF-8. Alright. Wrong metric. Give me the other one.
I wouldn't mind seeing rate area again. I quite like that metric.
Yeah, let's go back to the times of innocence.
Stream neutralization.
Stream neutral. One moment, I'm almost done debugging.
The stream's made 6 outputs and has now crashed.
Whatever.
No, gone again. You might have to just skip to the
The
next.
thing is that like it breaks the
solution.
entire file. So let's see. File.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the transcendental guy. Your notes have been split in half.
Can it also just add encoding here? In the right part? Oh, it's up. I've been fixing the wrong place, but it seems like I have to add encoding everywhere in this file now. That is a that is something I have to fix later.
Yeah, maybe that's not a do live on stream kind of problem.
Finally, I fixed it. Let's go, Bist.
Oh yay!
Ooh!
It's a good thing I added this repopulate function too. That's also been nice. All right, I'll finish reading the rest of it. I'll start running the solution and read the rest of the notes.
Okay.
All right. A letter to Dark Brick. Subject Smokestop 3000. Brick. I swear I haven't slept more than 4 hours all week. Your 1 week deadline was a joke, and I'm still feeling the sting. You want a tiny arm arms footprint, and I gave you a tiny arm arms footprint. But you know as I do, that it's not an honest metric anymore. F-bar made it a rule, and now everyone's just gaming the system. As old alchemist Goodhart said, any observed statistical regularity will tend to collapse once pressure is placed upon it for control purposes. That's exactly what happened here. A proper machine would have used a disposal glyph to eliminate the smog, but that would have made the M-arms footprint too big. So I had to get creative. I had used lead to absorb the smog instead. It's a kludge, I know, but it keeps the visible area minimal. The M-arms area is just a clean little channel for the elements. And actual machinery is all hidden. And since F-bar only checks for 6 consecutive uses, the machine is designed to stop working right after that. It's a bad machine, but it meets all the advertised specs, just barely. And it's all your fault. Transcendental guy. I feel like that was written to me instead and not to Dark Brick.
Yeah, Brick. This isn't Brick's fault. It's also not my fault. This is best.
Hello, it is me. I am the person you have to blame.
Same energy of the complaints I wrote to Zorflax during Latchhook Fireworks, but with the additional dynamic of Brick and Transcendental Guy, which makes it a delight.
Yeah, I like that I mentioned in the Weeklies chat while we were sort of testing this puzzle that I like that it felt like we were actually designing with both metrics. It felt like we were designing like a small device to fit in people's homes, and yeah, obviously it's not ideal.
This one is faulty and it stops working.
People. Yeah.
All of the small AM solves they just break after 6, not even 6 uses. This is 6 molecules of smog. I don't imagine this would be.
You need to constantly clean out the filter. Yeah, that's how it works. On the bright side, in the filter, you get gold. Can you really complain about that?
Yeah, Transcendental Guy pointing out that because there is a free space.
Oh yeah, you could
on
build
the
a waste chain.
exterior of the solution.
It is in theory possible to make a 16 that loops. It would just be really stupid.
Yeah.
It would take so much effort.
Alright, moving on then. We have at 162 cycles, it keeps going down. Bambi. Making big moves.
We're past the 180s logjam.
This one's a standard
well, this
solve.
one
It just does it well.
This one bonds together the 2 airs.
I find that this shape appears quite often. Lots of solves have this shape. It's nice. It's a hexagon. It's a weirdly shaped hexagon, but it's a hexagon nonetheless.
Yeah, you really want those 120-degree angles.
Mm-hmm. And this solve is this layout's full of those 120-degree angles. So
yeah, it's a bestagon with the bottom chopped off.
Yeah. So was Cassian's, but not many people use the Cassian layout. That one was also entirely 120 degrees bends.
Let's have a few more of them.
Yeah. But yeah, this solve just does it fast. How does it do it faster than Biggie? By like 24 cycles, that's like... I want to say 2 period, but period is not a concept for this puzzle. 12 period. 4 period. I can math.
Guess it just comes down to more track loops.
Maybe.
More track loops is more faster.
Yeah, as Rebix was saying, I think it's almost certainly it's the main difference is in the early products rather than when the board is full.
Yeah, that's fair. it's doing those. Yeah, it's sure doing those quickly. It's well optimized
Oh,
for
it
the
sounds like
smaller, the earlier inputs. Yeah. There's notes for this off. Cost can no doubt be improved, as many arms do only one thing or do nothing at all. The solving process was a bit of an adventure because the... One moment. Because the metal pathing requires a fair amount of planning to get everything where it needs to be in time. Let me repeat the whole sentence. The solving process was a bit of an adventure because the metal pathing requires a fair amount of planning to get everything where it needs to be in time. Great puzzle design and metric choice. Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
thanks.
Potion bottle symbol. Waiter, more track loops, please.
It's interesting to me that the loading hex sauce has not been converted on as rapidly as you would have thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been looking at a few. We've looked at the past two solves. I don't have it. But next up in second place at it keeps going lower, 146 cycles. Rebix.
It has to go lower. What do you think? A 15 is gonna suddenly pop
It
out?
keeps going way lower. This is like 20. No, it's like 18 cycles faster than the previous one. Well, here it is. It's back.
Okay. It's the...
I was expecting Reb to do really well because Reb is kind of uniquely skilled at these weird metrics where you have to cycles optimize.
This looks like the check engine symbol on your car. Scary symbol to see.
Yeah, but yeah, agreed, Kazian. Like this does seem to be Revit's one of Revit's many specialties, but this is partly the reason why I was so like, I was like behind the scenes, I was like quietly cheering and really hoping that Rose would get a 16 because yeah, I knew that once he got that, then we could actually see him put his talent to work. And yeah, I mean, I had no clue that. I mean, I knew sub 200 was very definitely possible with track loops. I didn't appreciate just how far below 200 cycles it could very easily go.
Yeah.
There's sub 200 and then there's sub 200 and then we're not even thinking about 200 anymore.
Oh yeah, Rebex does the thing that Gecko did, where you have to leave the extra Quicksilver just floating around. Imagine if you didn't have to do that.
We don't have to imagine.
Who's in first place?
No takers. You're not going to get any of us with that nonsense.
Well, there's also the solution title. It says top 4? No, top 4.
123.
I'm gonna let that run slowly as I read the notes, but just quite a bit. The beginner alchemist will ask, what is the motive power of the arm? Only to be told in half in jest that behind each arm is an arm. As the beginner alchemist becomes advanced, likewise they publish many treatises as if to ask, what are the proxy and the atom? Only the true master can answer this, because they have seen that every cog of the track is itself an arm, and inside the glyphs found arm-moving atoms into yet other glyphs themselves made of arms, and so they know that even the atoms themselves are arms. Spin your arms in wide circles like wheels. Twirl them around each other as a purring car engine. Wave your arms back and forth in the rain like wipers. Thus the arms make the smog, and as you reverse the process, the arms swallow the smog up. If you do not have enough arms, you can use legs, because inside every leg are 2 arms. And if 6 arms is not enough, use the very smog itself, for the smog is made of arms. I look into your eyes and I see arms. In my eyes you see the madness that has fully consumed me, and the madness is made out of arms. Anyways, this soft loops.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah. Remember when they
Thank
said
you.
this was stupid? No, this is brilliant.
No, this is mad. This is madness.
Incredible. Congrats to who?
Yeah, very
Who?
well deserved win.
4.
Before.
Albatross, whatever.
And Nancy B. Drew in the Twitch chat. Albatross is secretly a shapeshifter. Have you seen those
they're
birds?
the-
I wouldn't be surprised. Albatrosses are huge.
This is what they get in exchange for being last in a raid. They win arms.
I didn't even know that. This is way better than Rebec's solve as well. This is 123 cycles. That's another 23 cycles shaved off. This does.
Yeah, this
the
is
first
good, like-
input so fast, yeah.
It's so fast.
Yeah, it's because for the first couple of inputs, the input, sorry, the first couple of outputs, the input isn't suppressed at all, because it can just take the waste off of the projector and put it on the track loop and move it around. And yeah, whereas a lot of other solves, you've
Yeah,
ended
a lot
up
of
with
other
the gold
solves
waste,
start
like
getting
having to
clogged
travel
up
over
early.
the input.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the only reason this doesn't qualify for the rate metric is because it has infinite area, because this would probably do better than the rate metric that that Albatross actually submitted. It's that fast.
They
that
just
it
need
does
to add,
better
like-
than his rate solve he submitted.
Just add a disposal or something. Submit it again.
Yeah, but that would be spoilers. We can't have that. Nancy B. Drew says outputs on 17, 31, 46, 64, 87, 117, and 123.
Oh, imagine if we did Lexi.
Oh god.
That would...
I don't think it's really that much different from Cycles, but people would hate us more.
That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, average about just over 20 cycles per product. That's absolutely, that's bananas.
It's hard to imagine it even goes this fast. I also like how I can just let it run and I don't have to keep on pressing space and play again. Thank you, Albatross. This is nice.
NB says, what even is Lexi? I believe it's the cycles to the first output, followed by the cycles between the first and the second output, and so on. So, no, I think you can explain it better.
Who's you? Oh, you can explain it better.
No, you got it. You got it. Yeah,
You
but
have it, yeah.
I'm not sure that the intervals that Nancy B. Drew has posted in the chat are strictly speaking correct, because I'm pretty well, unless I'm like completely blind, I'm pretty certain there's not a 6 cycle gap between the last 2 products being submitted.
Yeah, that's probably a typo.
Nancy says in the last message, ignore the 117.
The under 17 is just there. That's Alexi, yeah. But alright, that concludes our that concludes this week. Next up then we will be revealing next week's puzzle first, and then we will be
Ooh, exciting.
doing the showcases. Let me actually get that file out so I can.
Yeah, sorry,
Open it
Best.
up.
Can we just go back into the solve briefly? There was some beautiful artwork that you were omitted to draw attention to.
Oh yeah, true. I'll just let that run up there as I load up the solution. Here, I'll even turn the arms on.
Yeah, can you turn the arms on, please?
Y'all can stare at that for a bit.
Delcaroon-shaped car.
Beep beep.
Imagine if tertiary mattered, though.
Tertiary
Imagine
didn't
if
come close to
tertiary
mattering.
mattered.
This was a blowout.
Yeah, it did in the other
It
metric,
was.
but not this one.
Rev, I think the horsepower is 2 pistons.
But alright. The puzzle is live. Week 6, I think. This week 6 is Asbestos. Brought to you by Vilfuck.
Oh fuck, why have you done this?
Interesting. You're just undoing my puzzle, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But, like-
so Cabinet Infinite. Let's fucking go.
Cabinet Infinite.
Like we've been taking the smog out of the air, now we're just putting it back.
No. This is contained asbestos. We're like, look at the lore. We're making 6 molecules, 6 monomers of it, and stopping. we're responsible asbestos producers, if such a thing exists.
I don't think it does.
Oh yeah, just disposal. Is there supposed to be disposal?
Yes, yeah, you're supposed to have disposal. I'm not sure about animismus though. Oh no, of course you need anim.
Oh, of
Sorry,
course you need
ignore me.
animismus.
Ignore me completely.
But yeah, this is the puzzle. I hope you all enjoy and have fun.
No, and
that-
sorry, don't think we said the metrics are.
Oh yeah, true.
Yes.
The
Well, you've got
metrics
them in front
are
of you.
CGI, standard production metric, and GCI, but without pistons. No pistons allowed. Pistons banned for that metric.
No
Brick says,
piston.
"What's the lead doing?" Brick, you played last puzzle, right?
You've played week 5, right? I think you know very well what the lead does at this point. Yeah, it's pistonless cost. But yeah, that should be all for the puzzle review. We will be moving on back to showcases.
Yeah, so just to clarify, there is no, as unlike in some other puzzles, there's no restriction on placing pistons in the puzzle itself. But for the second metric, if you want your solution to qualify for the cost metric, you cannot have any pistons.
Yeah, it's
Otherwise,
like
they will be rejected by the verifier.
It's like TI, but like we have pistonless instructions now. It's PI now.
But it's not instructions. It's
G.
it's
like
the secondary
it's like PG,
cycle.
but it's PG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, it's late. All right, for our showcase, we have first off by Greenfield, Cobra Effect. I'll leave that there. Why clean the air when you can copy paste? It just pretends to create a more clean air. I have no idea how conduit duping actually even works, but I'm glad it's a thing.
Yeah, we just have a machine that pumps out clean air and I guess increases the air pressure in the room or something.
Yeah,
It doesn't it doesn't
this is
clean
actually
anything.
an air pump. Creating spontaneous matter. It makes about as much sense as the disposal glyph destroying matter.
The atoms have to go somewhere.
Alright, next up, we have a solved by Crazybot. Failed am arms. The solution speaks for itself. It's like watching one of those silent films.
I often find myself when I'm deep in a solution, I often find myself sort of imbuing the arms with personality. So I'm
Smack. Kill. This is amazing. Thank you,
this is
Crazybot.
better than most. So this is better than most drama that they show on television.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one.
Like I can tell. It's great. Gooey couldn't even finish their sentence. It was interrupted by Katunk. Well, we have shitpost this. We have the shitpost puzzle this year, and this is a great candidate for it. Coming to you week 12. Look forward. Please look forward to it.
I get to do this and it'll actually be like quote unquote scoring.
Alright. Next up we have MB Ventus. Amarms Truman? So MB Ventus did find out that you could get less with rejection. The notes here say, I was trying to achieve an Amarms of 15 by storing gold on glyphs not currently in use. This has proven to be way harder than I could figure out in 3 hours, so I have given up and am submitting the incomplete solution as a showcase solve. You can't actually do 15, but
Yeah, there's too many atoms.
valiant effort. Oh yeah, and then this is where it gives up. No, this isn't the only one left. There's also Rebix, the world with no waste compression. This is the best 19 Amarm solve. At 400 cost, 86 cycles, and 34 area.
That is clean.
Yeah, it is. Silex Away also had a Silex also had an area, a 19 Amarm solve that was also 86 cycles, but what costed more than this solve did. And then we have GUI with the 20 TI solve, when we consider TI as a metric.
Oh yeah, this is the reason we didn't do Tia as a metric.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed actually because Crazybot had come up with some quite clever TI solves, and I had been kind of encouraging TI as a metric, and then I think I was in the shower one day and I was just thinking, hang on a minute, this is a multi-atom input, so slappy stick, and yeah, immediately beat everything else, and we sort of thought, wow, this isn't going to be very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the second metric went through a lot of iterations.
Yeah. And we eventually settled on the second metric that I brought up. Well, I guess I brought up area first, but I don't think that anybody wants to suffer through area. Maybe they do. It's a single arm moving about. Maybe they think that's easier. But like, it's getting min on that is way harder and way more dubious. I'm not even sure if you can get 19
Yeah,
area.
would you rather have 1 arm or 50?
Yeah, like in terms of I personally rather have 1 arms, but in terms of area, the min with disposal is 20 area, and I'm not even sure if 19 is possible. Nobody's tried. 19
I'd like to believe there's some sort of witchcraft that lets you do it, but
yeah, 19 would involve you getting access to a 4 track, so that's 3 extra, like 3 space. But, yeah. You can still do all the compression stuff, but like it's a lot harder. I guess you only need like 2. You need suppression, so you need 2 arms. So that's 2 extra area. I think 19's the limit. Maybe 18. It's definitely a lot harder.
it's left as an exercise for the reader.
Yeah, that's why we chose M arms instead. It's quote-unquote easier to achieve min. That is. Alright, next up, Mr. Arpiozo with the no smog machine. No smog allowed.
Sure, I guess that counts.
And last but not least, we have another metric we tried from Crazybot. Min grabs.
Yeah, Panic suggested we do something like fewest times you grab the input, because the idea was that you'd have to use lead to wand stuff around, but it turns out you don't. You can just do this. So we scrapped that one too.
But yeah, that would conclude our showcases. But yeah, this would be where we will be ending our streams then. Thank you all for coming, and
thanks so much for having me. This was
yeah. I mean, it's your puzzle. You know,
this was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And again, this is the puzzle for next week. The metrics are CGI and GCI. GCI, right? Or is it GIC? GCI. Whatever.
Yeah, GCI with no pistons.
Yeah, GCI with no pistons. This is the puzzle for next week. Next week, the stream will be hosted by Gooey. Yippee!
Yay.
Everybody look forward to it. Make sure you have your tomatoes ready. Gooey had much more of a hand in this puzzle than I did.
No. Well, no. I mean, I hope that Vilfuck's going to come on to talk about it. I was going to ask. Maybe you're getting tired of being asked, but I was going to ask Kazian if you wanted to come on as well, or you know. But,
I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
Mostly to be the troubleshoot person.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, just in case I have trouble with the
Yeah.
Python script.
Or streaming in general. Wish you luck with it.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, hopefully it all goes well. Hope to put on a good show for everybody, and thank you all for coming this week.
And we'll see you all next week. Have a nice day.
Bye.